difficulties on our... Okay, there we go.
Perfect. Now we are here.
Now we're here, we're live. So thank you all for joining us on another Wine Wednesday. We today are going to give you a little bit of a harvest update. Well, Nikki will, I won't, because we all know she's the farmer.
Yep.
Let the farmer speak. And then we're going to be we're doing a little comparative tasting with our Southern Hills Cabernet Sauvignon. So right here, beautiful, Livermore Valley. And then our Wetmore Vineyard, I almost said Charles Wetmore, Wetmore Vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon. And so I think a lot of the times we get questions on...
It is Charles Wetmore.
It's Wetmore Vineyard.
Oh.
A lot of the times we get questions about the difference in the two Cabernets, what makes them unique. So we thought it'd be really fun to do a side-by-side tasting, especially because we're harvesting Cabernet right now.
Yeah, Cabernet is usually like one of the mid to last things we harvest. So usually our very last pick is Cabernet in the Livermore Valley. So right now we're standing in one of our beautiful Wetmore vineyards. This is actually one of our younger vineyards. It was planted in 2016. And this year it's tasting really great and we're super excited. We're actually in the middle of a vineyard that we're running a trial in. So a few different ways to kind of farm this vineyard. It's going to go into our small lot winery to just kind of see how we can improve quality by changing the timing of different viticultural practices, like changing the timing of leafing and changing the timing of shoot thinning and changing the timing of any fruit drops and those sorts of things. So kind of an exciting little trial that our viticulturists Brad Kurtz and Hannah Lindner have been putting on, and I'm just excited to see the results.
Perfect. And if you guys have questions along the way, remember we're checking the chat as often as we can. My eyesight, getting a little older, my eyesight's not as great. And then, you know, we also, which I almost forgot to mention, wanted to talk about these wonderful wines because we just got some amazing ratings on them and we're super, super excited. So our Southern Hills Cabernet just got 90 points from Wine Enthusiast. That is really exciting. And then Wetmore Vineyard Cabernet got 92 points from Wine Enthusiast and 93 points from Tasting Panel. So that's super exciting, and it's really fun for us because it's just a really nice way to show our winemakers that, and viticulture team, that like they're doing an awesome job. So
yeah. Well, I also
they make my life easier.
It's production from start to finish, and we've been really trying to celebrate those wins because it gets everyone really excited when they hear about it. So from everyone from the ground all the way to bottling and to our sales force, you know, it's a team effort, and it's great to have that sort of reward to come home to and be able to share it with our team members so they can taste what a 93-point wine tastes like.
Yep. And Anna has a question. How long do vineyards need to be planted before you can harvest them? 3 years?
So 3 years, you usually will get your first crop on a standard plant. So these plants actually they're what we call Uber vines. It's a trademarked name by Dwardy Nursery. Uber, no. And so you can actually get a crop off of these after 2 years. So we had our first crop in 2019. No. We planted 2018 was our first crop. Our second crop was 2019, and this is the third crop that we're getting off of it. And usually I always say that the third crop is where you start to see the quality. The first 2 years you're going to get fruit, but it's not going to be the real quality that you want. You know, it's going to be it's a baby. You know, it's learning what it's doing, and then as it grows up, it really just starts to show itself. So this year is going to probably be the first year that this vineyard makes it into the Wetmore blend, which is really great.
Yeah, and we planted it in
16.
Yes. So there you go. It's been 4 years.
Yep. Well,
4 years.
But we get crop off of it. This is the third year.
I know, but it's been 4 years, and now it's gonna make it in.
Yeah, but on like on a standard, it would be like 5 years.
Are you guys seeing our sister come out right now?
I don't know what she's trying to do. She's like, I was right, 4 years.
No, that's not what I was saying. Sisters, can't get enough of them. No, can't live with them. Can't live without them.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Well, right now we are drinking the Southern Hills Cabernet.
Yes, we are, which is beautiful. And so Southern Hills is kind of collecting from all of our beautiful vineyards around the Livermore Valley, specifically vineyards on the southern-facing hills.
We are very creative with our naming.
It's right on the nose. It'll hit you right there.
Ask me about our Morning Fog Chardonnay. I'll tell you.
Named after the
evening fog.
Yeah. The middle of the day sun.
Yeah. Middle of the day nap is what that was named after.
Okay, so sorry. Nikki's a little loopy. I'll just blame this on her because she's been up since, the crack of dawn. Yeah. But we're still experiencing really warm temperatures out here. It was 90 degrees today. What's that doing for harvest? How's that?
That's actually kind of speeding everything along, which is good and bad because you only have so much capacity to bring in fruit in a day. But it's nice to have everything start to get really ripe and pretty and ready to pick. So it's a love-hate relationship, but I have literally never had heat waves this late in October in my entire life.
Is this considered a heat wave?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for sweaters and it's not happening.
So it's just been a really interesting year, and what the winemaking team is seeing is that the color from the fruit has been really easily extractable, which is great, which means that so a lot of the time the color is locked up in those skins and it doesn't all come out and stay in the wine. It goes away with the skins when you get rid of those. But this year we're seeing really great extraction. So you're going to have some really beautiful deep colored wines on your reds, of course. And that is going to impart a lot of really great phenolics. So flavors, texture, mouthfeel is going to be really great this year. So I actually just got that feedback today from our winemaking team. So thank you to Elizabeth and Andy.
There you go. Thanks, you guys. So back to the Southern Hills, I think what we really love about this is it's easy drinking, it's really smooth.
Bright red fruit.
You get bright red fruit.
Freshness in the glass. There is a little like earthiness, maybe a little like not like a little greenness that I like in Cabernet personally.
Like a dried leaf.
Mm-hmm.
A dried leaf sounds weird, but that is kind of what you're getting here.
Yeah.
But in a great way. I personally love earthiness in my wines. I feel like it's like you want to taste the terroir and that kind of brings it out of it. Yeah. I think you also get some like nice subtle sweet baking spices, but it's not over the top. It's not elbowing you. It's really complimentary. Yeah.
Aly and I were talking earlier, and she was like, well, like Wetmore really just has like that sense of place because it's a single vineyard wine. Or so when I say like this vineyard is new, I mean this block. So it's a block that we separated and planted at a different time with a different clone, like a bunch of different things. But there's many blocks within the vineyard, if that makes sense. So we have a lot of vineyards in the vineyard, or not a lot of vineyards, but like a few vineyards. I'm probably confusing everyone. However,
it's confusing when you say vineyards in the vineyard.
Well, yeah, but like I'm trying to speak everyone's lingo. But so, where was I even going with this?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. I just see some fun comments. Hi, Suki. People want sweater weather. I get it. I'm just totally interrupting you. You lost your train of thought. I wasn't listening, so I don't know if anyone else can finish what Nikki was talking about, but...
we were talking, Aly and I were talking about how the sense, Charles Wetmore really has a sense of place, and I was like, well, sense of place is one of our winemaking philosophies, but really what separates Charles Wetmore from Southern Hills is that Southern Hills, I think, gives a really great example of the terroir of the Livermore Valley as a whole. Yes. So you're really just tasting what the Livermore Valley has to offer. Our beautiful sunny weather, our nice sloping hillsides, well-drained soils, all of that, those flavors are coming from those features in our terroir. Stop watching the birds.
I don't want to freak anyone out, but there's a circle of vultures right above our heads, and I'm like, are they coming for us?
And then Wetmore, on the other hand, is a sense of place in a specific location in the Livermore Valley that's a little bit cooler than the rest of the valley, has good air circulation, really well drained soils, lots of deep gravel pits around here. Yep. And you just get more of like that darker blue,
definitely earthier.
Tea leaf, maybe some chocolate shavings, definitely has what I like to call Livermore dust. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like something that's so close to home for me when I smell it. And I smell it in other places too, but the Livermore dust is unmistakable, and it's just beautiful.
Livermore and Rutherford, known for our dust.
Yeah.
There you go.
Rutherford.
Oh my gosh.
Aly, stop looking at
the vultures are coming for us.
Oh man,
that is for sure.
She is.
So there's a couple questions. How's testing going?
Hi from Tahiti. Hello.
Hi from Tahiti.
Take me with you.
Yeah, bring us to Tahiti. How's the smoke testing going at the labs, and then also how is the air quality? I think you can see the air.
Air quality is good.
Great. It's beautiful. It's been beautiful.
Yeah.
It's been warm, as we mentioned, which we're ready for a cooler weather, but it is really nice outside.
Yeah, and the weather is actually going to drop pretty cold this weekend, so we are excited. I think the last time I checked it was going to be 64 on Sunday, so I'm like, woo, 64! And I don't know that in Celsius, and I apologize. But smoke testing has been okay. We were sending our samples all the way to Canada because all the labs in California were so backlogged, and then Canada got backlogged because I think everyone kind of did the same thing as us. But we're getting a lot of results back, and we've been able to make very educated decisions on how to treat the wine through the winery, and we're actually really excited about all of the wines that were not impacted, or the grapes that were not impacted. So we have a lot of really beautiful wines in process coming to you guys soon. So I hope you guys are excited.
There you go. What are we drinking? So you're late, Eric. We are drinking the Southern Hills Cabernet Sauvignon.
But we're about to switch over to the Wetmore.
We sure are. So that we're about to switch over to the Wetmore Vineyard Cab. So again, Southern Hills, great representation of the Livermore Valley. And then Wetmore, a specific vineyard site. It's a single vineyard wine. I see you eyeing it. She wants us some. I saw it in her eyes. Jeez Louise. Okay.
I've had too much.
We're just getting started. Oh, you have a messy hand.
I do.
I'm not gonna.
I literally just cleaned my hand off because I was out here just
doing some
vineyard things. It's hard when you come out into the vineyard and you see something that you want to fix, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll just go do this.
She can't stop working. Cool. Oh, we have England on the. What is this? Live.
On the live.
On the live.
Take me there also.
Cold and rainy in England. I would love to go there. That was actually, London was the last place that I went before everything
closed down.
Shut down.
Yeah.
And it was a great time. It was a fabulous time. I wish I could go back right now.
I love London.
Oh, people think it's funny that I spelt on you.
Yeah. And my hand is covered in wine.
Mm-hmm. So we are in the Wetmore Vineyard right now. What Nikki was saying, it is a little bit of a cooler area of the Livermore Valley in the southwestern corner. Super gravelly soils, which makes for really concentrated berries, and I think you get that concentration in the wine. Like you get that intensity of flavor, but still I think the winemaking team does a really good job of kind of rounding out and smoothing out the tannins so you're not getting overpowered.
We have a cluster here.
Get it closer. Give them a real good close-up. There you go.
So this is actually the Kincannon clone of Cabernet that we have growing here. So staying true to our Livermore roots.
Which is actually pretty fun because the Kincannon clone were the original cuttings that Charles Wetmore brought over to the Livermore Valley in the late 1800s from some of the great chateaus in Bordeaux. Here we are, we're eating. And as you know, or you might not know, but our Wetmore Vineyard Cabernet is named after Charles Wetmore. It's really an ode to him. And because we're standing on his original winery site, and that's where if you come visit us today at our tasting lounge, that used to be his winery. It was the Cresta Blanca winery that was founded, I think, in the same year as us, or
no,
right
before.
1881, maybe.
Yeah,
so a couple years before us. But we've kind of been, talking about him since the 1800s.
Yeah. Been friends with him, been talking about him.
Ooh, that tastes good.
It's right here. You can also pick more off the vine if you want. That's also fine. So for a harvest update, We are probably, I don't know, I saw Brad Kurtz comment on here. He's our viticulturist, or one of our viticulturists at Wenti, and he's been kind of doing the percent complete on harvest. So Brad, if you're watching still, comment what percent complete we are. But I think in Arroyo Seco, we're probably around 60% complete. So we actually just started Chardonnay 2 weeks ago, because in Arroyo Seco, we pick Chardonnay late, and that's just because it takes that long to get ripe.
Which, how long before that did we finish Chardonnay here?
We finished in the middle of September on Chardonnay in Livermore, and so we didn't start
behind.
A month behind.
A month behind.
It's pretty crazy. And then in Livermore, we're probably 70% complete, I'd say. So we're really working just through some Cabernet. We have some Mourvedre out, some Tempranillo, some Touriga Nacional, some Cab Franc, Petit Syrah, and that's it.
And if we're ending harvest in the first-ish week of November, is that on schedule, early, late? What is that?
So for the last few years, we've actually been ending harvest like November 12th to 15th, which has been late. Like, that is late. We don't want to get close to Thanksgiving. Sorry, I saw someone comment in all caps, give my best to Eric. We will. He just got a new puppy. I haven't even met it yet. I would love to meet the puppy, so I'm going to go tell him you say hello, and I'm going to meet the puppy. What was I saying?
How late is this? Early, late?
So,
you're like, shiny. Squirrel.
So this year we were actually kind of anticipating finishing harvest. I was thinking around October 31st. So we're really not far off of what my estimate was, because now I'm kind of estimating November 4th. So really close to what I was thinking in the first place. But we got a little slowed down because of those heat waves that we experienced in August and September. When the temperature rises above 105, which it did for 2 days in August, it was at 106, 107. The vines shut down, and it actually takes some time for them to start back up again and start producing or start maturing the fruit. So go back to their work, you know. So we had a little bit of a stalling period where we were just kind of waiting around for the vines to restart. And it's a defense mechanism so that they don't die, because nothing really lives in that sort of temperature, that heat, well, unless you're talking cacti and other things that can really withstand it. But most plants that grow in our area don't like that temperature, because it doesn't really get that hot here very often.
Yeah.
So when it does get hot like that, they shut down as a defense mechanism, and then they start back up when they're comfortable and ready. And so we had just a couple of those heat waves in August and September, and it took us a little bit of time to restart the vines. Or took the vines a little. We didn't do anything. We just kept watering them. We kept treating them right.
Nikki came out here with a book and read to them every night.
I did. I sing them songs.
Yeah, she sings them songs.
I pet them. I eat their grapes.
I don't think that's good.
I don't know. They want them off. They want the grapes gone. They want to go to sleep for the winter. Well, this Charles Wetmore is really tasting nice. I honestly, every time it's warm outside and she's like, we're drinking red wine. Like, dang it.
I mean, ask my friends in Texas. I don't know if we have anyone from Texas on the line, but they drink Cab when it's 110 out. They don't care. We're in Texas today.
Well, yeah, it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with drinking this in 110 degrees heat, but it's not 110. It's probably like 82 right now.
Yeah.
But like, we're being dramatic complainers. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Well, does anyone have questions on the cabs? If you joined late, we have the Southern Hills and our Wetmore cab. If you have questions, we can answer them. You know, if not, Nikki and I might just kick back on the back of this truck and just have ourselves a little glass.
Yeah, you know, someone's got to do it. It's a hard job.
It is a hard job. Let's see right here what's happening here. No, we're good.
No questions.
No questions. You guys are a quiet bunch tonight, but that is fine.
Yeah.
You know, we're all tired.
Clearly, I'm not firing on all cylinders. I've gotten distracted like 4 times. I lost my train of thought a couple times. So, you know.
She needs to go to bed.
I do. But we've discussed a few different things to talk about for the next couple the next couple Wine Wednesdays, we're thinking something Thanksgiving related in November.
Oh,
unheard of.
Again, a really big idea. Okay, you want the $1 million idea, that's it.
And then we are also thinking about for Christmas, maybe like mulled wine and like flavoring with different types of wines. I don't know.
There you go. The vintages we're drinking for these, they're both 2018. Both just got 90, and we got a 90 right here, 92 from Wine Enthusiast. So we're super, super excited. What are the best years? That's a good question.
Ooh. I think that 17 was a really great year for 17 and 15 were really great years for Southern Hills, and the 18 is tasting wonderful, but it's really a newer bit. Like we're opening them now within like the last 6 months probably, and then for Wetmore, I think this vintage is tasting very nice. I also liked the 15 of Wetmore, and 15 was just a drought year, so we had really small crops, really small berries, but great color, great flavors, really great fruit quality. So that's why I liked 15 as a drinker. As a farmer, didn't like 15 so much. Dessert pairings, that is a question I like, Zach. For Southern Hills, I might do like a berry pie.
Blackberry pie.
Yeah. And then for Charles Wetmore, I'd probably do something chocolatey.
Like a flourless chocolate cake.
Or like a regular chocolate cake for those who like gluten.
I just wanted something like dense.
Oh, yeah, that too. But I mean, I don't discriminate against desserts. I'll eat them all.
Nikki will eat. She'll just eat dessert actually all day long, and that's it. So it's a little scary for her.
And then someone asked about the blending. So on Charles Wetmore, we have specific other varieties planted within the vineyard. For the Wetmore Vineyard wine. And we have Cab Franc, Malbec, Petit Syrah, and Petit Verdot planted within the vineyard. We just planted the Cab Franc 2 years ago. So to date, no Cab Franc has been blended in Wetmore, but possibly in the future. In Southern Hills, the world is our oyster. So I think Barbera has made it into there. I think we've had Petit Verdot, we've had Petit Syrah, we've had Malbec, we've had Tempranillo. You know, the world's our oyster to blend a little bit of something else that we think is going to make it really special that year. And
the winemaking team kind of like goes into the field. They see what's tasting good, and ultimately we have a style for each of these wines that we're trying to recreate. So we're not going too crazy and making like hugely different blends each year, but it is interesting to see sometimes how a Barbera can add to the blend and make it feel really unique and special for that vintage.
Right, like if it was a low acid year for Cabernets, Barbera has a lot of natural acidity, so they can just blend in a little Barbera, and that brings that nice fresh acidity out. So the winemaking team is definitely very creative and does a lot of really cool things with our wines. And yeah, every year it's a fun thing to see all the wines out on the table. I don't think I'll be invited this year because COVID, but maybe next year.
For the blending?
Yeah.
Sad. Super fun. Well, thank you all for joining in and tuning in to our little Wine Wednesday. It was fun to see you. Next time we'll be back with something for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Nikki and I are like...
I was like, we're going to make a Thanksgiving dinner, and we're going to pair a wine with every course. And Ally's like, how about we just do a table setting?
She just wants to eat. She is hungry.
Or we could just do pies.
I do love pies. We could do pies with Mom.
That would be fun.
That would be really fun. Well, sorry to invite you all to our meeting where we figure this out. Do you ever do a Cab Franc on its own? We do one, actually, and it is just a tasting room only wine. So, Eric, I think you said you were from Vaughn's, so probably not for Vaughn's, but you should try it yourself.
Yeah.
And you can order it on our website.
Yeah. It is one of our favorites, and we were actually going to do it tonight, but neither one of us had that wine. So
that's the truth. Well, have a great night, a rest of your October, and we'll see you in November.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers. Share to IGTV?
Yes.
Okay.